The first one is Brendan Two Spectrum Shaw. This is a really funny one. Two Spectrums. Brendan Two Spectrum Shaw.
You and Rogan are two spectrum.
Diametrically
He's
opposed.
like fucking.
I used to be really bad, but I look back and I didn't.
Still not great, right? So you and Rogan are two spectrum.
Diametrically
He's
opposed.
like fucking.
I used to be really bad, but I look.
What he's trying to say is what he's trying to say is that Rogan and Brian Callen are on two sides of the spectrum, but instead of saying two sides of the spectrum, he says two spectrums. They are two spectrums. They're not two sides of the spectrum. They are actually two. I don't know what that fuck that means, but that was a very, redacted, ham-fisted, wrong, diabolically insane way to say either side of the spectrum, on opposite sides of the spectrum, on two sides of the spectrum. You are two spectrums. Two spectrums. Big up the Two Spectrums crew. Bappa tells Callen to stop wrestling and jiu-jitsu, to stop doing wrestling and jiu-jitsu because he hasn't improved in 13 years. I thought this clip was kind of funny because just imagine if the roles were reversed. Imagine if somebody told Brendan to stop podcasting, to stop doing stand-up or whatever it may be because he hasn't improved in however many years he did time and pod. So I always find this sort of stuff interesting because if you flipped it and you let somebody do this to Brendan, he wouldn't have it, he wouldn't take it too well. So I always do find it funny how he's able to do these type of jokes to Brian, but if Brian ever did the same jokes to him, he'd be in a mood, he'd throw a strop. He wouldn't be too happy.
Well, Brian's been working on his wrestling
and my boxing
Since I've known him. He's never gotten better.
Brendan, please, seriously.
No, I enjoy the bit.
No.
Hey, but after 13 years, hey, I enjoy the bit.
Hey.
But after 13 years,
I know, but
you've never improved. And at some point, you want to talk about wasting time?
Yeah.
Here you go. Oh, you know what it is? It's Reality Wednesday.
Guys,
you know what?
You guys come.
You want to talk about wasting time?
Yeah.
Dude, it's Reality Wednesday.
It's Reality Wednesday.
Guys,
Actually, Brian,
this is
we
going to
got
hurt.
this a podcast. This is an intervention.
This intervention. Hey, this is going to hurt. Stop wrestling and doing jiu-jitsu.
No, please. I have a dream.
I know,
Don't
the
shit on
dream's
my
over.
dream.
The dream's
Wait,
over.
hold on. There's a caveat.
Hey, and this is the problem with martial arts.
Yeah.
If they were making cuts,
Yeah.
like if there's just no future, like if it was like the NFL,
Yeah.
you would have been cut
Now, come on.
years ago.
No, but
Yet you keep
I'm a
coming
I'm
around
a work in
and they keep
progress.
giving you a playbook.
Hey guys, let me run a route. I just want to run a route.
No,
He's close though, right? He's close.
Listen,
it's over, man.
Bubba,
Is he close?
Bubba,
He's
hold
not
on.
close?
There's a new
Been over.
Bubba.
It's
There's a
over?
new development.
Well, Brian's been working on his wrestling.
So again, funny clip for what it's worth, but I do find it funny, and interesting that if the roles are reversed, if Brian said the same thing to Brendan about him not improving in stand-up, not improving in podcasting, not improving in a ton of things, I don't think he'd receive it the greatest. But the advice is probably on point. I do find the idea of Brian being this 60-year-old guy that's hitting pads in the gym and trying to improve his fucking takedowns and submissions and jiu-jitsu fucking hilarious, but it is what it is. These guys have a very narrow view of masculinity, and for them to be a man, you have to to be a man in their eyes, you have to be a guy that's willing to fight, a guy that knows how to fight, a guy that's willing to use his hands, that's quick to anger, that wants to throw, all these sort of nonsense things. So I guess it makes sense in that regard, but overall, whatever. The guest asked Callen to stop with all the test injections fantasies again. I thought this is one of the more funnier clips that they had on the show, especially when you think about previous episodes I've had to clip up and watch. I didn't think this was too bad of a thing, especially the guy that was besides Nick. I think they kind of gelled together pretty well and added a bit of necessary comedic relief to a show that's usually very dead. And it kind of reminded me of how it was at the beginning when these guys were kind of fresh-eyed, a little bit more. I think that's what basically happened. I think Nick and the other guy, they're not that well known. So they clearly, who's the other guy's name? Actually, let me just quickly check so I don't disrespect these guys. What's their names? Oh, they're with a guy called two Nicks, Nick Simmons and a guy called Nick Callis. So Nick Simmons, Nick Callis is the guy that was on that other show we watched previously. So yeah, so Nick Simmons and Nick Callis, I think they did a good job bantering off each other. And I think it kind of shows you, because they're both not as famous as Brendan and Brian or things that well known, haven't been around as much, they've still got the energy and the kind of, vibe to kind of try and be funny and make a good fucking show. And I think it kind of you saw the difference in terms of their level of enthusiasm v Brendan and Brian, who are kind of, you know, going through the motions. So this is the guest, Nick Simmons and Nick Callen, asking Callen to stop with all the testosterone shit.
All the sides, you're good. You could strap in and run test hard.
Seriously, like, what's the goal? Like, what do you want? What do you want? What are you doing,
Dude,
What are you doing, dude?
Listen,
Fucking stop.
I don't appreciate you laughing, and I don't appreciate.
No, but do you know why he's laughing? Because it's true.
No, listen.
Stop, dude.
I don't.
I actually say this because I care about you. Stop. Fucking stop. Go home, relax, read. Like, stop.
I won't. I will wear rash guards and I will train.
My concern is not like, oh, he's going to get an infection. My concern is you're old. Don't fight.
No,
What are you preparing for?
Yeah.
there might be another 59-year-old. I got to be ready.
You are actually. And for real, you would kick the shit out of everybody your age. Obviously, because they're all dead already. But if they're alive, I think you have it. You have it. So you win. It's over. It's done. Moving on.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty decent little bit there from them. Again, trying to be funny. And yeah, you know, it goes without saying, Brian does need to stop and go hang out with his family, but I think it's an intrinsic part of being a comedian not to enjoy hanging out with your family too much. So, you know, he's always going to be out on the road. He's always going to be out here, you know, practicing hitting pads and honing his fucking boxing skills and his grappling skills and jiu-jitsu skills, because that means he spends more time away from the home, more time away from the family, blah, 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 blah. So it is what it is. Everyone LOLs at Callen for being a failure at stand-up compared to Chris D'Elia. Again, this is a running gag, right? Brian's always the kind of, this is where he kind of shines. He's always willing to be like, the, you know, the one that everyone kind of laughs on and mocks and stuff. I think he plays that role pretty well. There's an element that's kind of cockery, right? I'm not sure if it's adjacent to like Jester Maxine, but there's an element of it that's kind of cockery, the fact that he does acquiesce to this role of being the butt of everyone's jokes, but he kind of does, you know, he's that kind of person in that kind of crew and community, and they do a good job in terms of, you know, reminding him of how much of a failure he is at stand-up, which I guess is a running gag. I guess it would hurt me generally, but I guess this is around a kind of an ongoing running gag that all these people he started with, some of which started way after him, are now still doing pretty well. Even Chris D'Elia's case of things, you know, he got accused of basically being a PDF. He got accused of raping women too, and he's still shining and thriving and performing in fucking theaters and shit. So for some reason, Brian hasn't been able to get to that level, and Chris D'Elia still has. And I guess to remind him of that fact.
He just goes, see you soon. Congrats.
Yeah, Sass was the best.
The best. So fucking
I gotta ask,
funny.
what was it like opening up for like a big headline on the road?
It's really, you know what it is, dude? The people there are fans of comedy. They're not like, they don't like the venue and just
Hey,
showed up
dude.
to like for dinner or drinks.
Something to do.
Something to do. In
They're
the
there for
kind of
Chris.
background.
They're there
Yeah.
for Chris.
So they're excited.
They know his name when they
They're yelling his name. A lot of people have like the merch and the shirts and stuff.
Yeah.
So I come out and they are excited for comedy. So it feels like I'm there for like my own fans in a way. Right?
Do you guys know what's funny about
comedy.
this? You want to know what's funny about this? Hurts my feelings.
Oh fuck!
You know what's funny? That's not funny to me because it's true.
Well, okay.
That's what I was saying. It's only funny if Brian was killing it.
Hey, like,
Wait.
hey,
It's like
literally,
your friend who's broke, you know?
Literally, I felt
and you're
my-
like flexing your new car, and your friend's like, oh,
I felt
cool, man.
all the watch. I felt all the air go. Shoot.
And I, the thing is, I knew it was happening. I was like,
And I was like this,
Bro, so
we look over, Brian was all,
guys. It's all good.
dude, so we
God.
were. It
I'm
was
sure it'll
like-
get better. Well, no, I'm 59. You're supposed to get into your golden years, guys. Greenville, South Carolina Comedy Zone.
hey, 59 is the
There's
grind.
guys, there's no sign. There's no sign. If you just go, it's a second floor. Then there's no. Well, you'll find it.
I know this is a joke and it's, you know, it's all shit and giggles, but I don't know. It's kind of like some people's temperament is different, because I think if I was Brian, I would have given up a long time ago, especially considering his family background, the fact that his dad's made a lot of money. He's probably got a lot. He's probably going to get left with a decent trust, or he probably has a decent trust fund. He's probably going to get a fat inheritance. You know, he could really just, you know, focus on doing sets when he wants to do them and just go from there. But the being on the constant stand-up comedy circuit grinding, and I feel like it'd be different if he was happy just being a working comedian. Cool, do your thing. But I generally do think he wants to be famous again. You know, I don't think he's happy just being a working comedian. That'll be okay. That'll be the somewhat, I won't say honor is a weird thing to say, but there's some pride in that, right? About the ability of just like clocking in, clocking out, doing your job, performing for an audience, making them leave with a smile on their face. You know what I mean? But I feel like he wants to be Matt Rife. You know, he wants to have he wants to be famous. He wants to be invited to all the late shows, be on all the big podcasts, have his faces on a billboard and shit. And it's just too late for that now. It's never going to happen again. Not because, you know, I wouldn't say it's going to not happen because people don't think he's funny. I just think with the way the industry is and the allegations that he's got, he's probably not famous enough for them to turn a blind eye to the allegations. Because let's be honest, I don't think there's any sort of principled moral stance. I just don't think they think he's worth the hassle of looking past the allegations, you know? So he's not famous or not well known enough or not funny enough for people to look past the allegations. Generally, I don't think the public care that much about him. Every time I'm on the TFATK Reddit, somebody posts another screenshot that shows a poster where you can watch Brian perform somewhere for like $5 or something. Those look really embarrassing. I'm sure that's not like uncommon in stand-up, but it just looks 10 times worse when it comes to Brian Callen. These shows where he's performing, but you can buy a ticket for $5 for nothing, come for free. I feel like those shows don't do many favors. So yeah, it's a bit of a mad one, but you know, I guess it is what it is. Papa's dad sounds worse than TFATK Reddit. Yeah, this is a pretty brutal story. And again, goes to show you just nothing that we've said in the chat, nothing that we say on Reddits can come close to the things that they may have heard in person. Because Brendan Schaub's dad sounds like, you know, he sounds like he sounded like a tough dad. Let's just say that. He sounded like a tough dad.
That actually got to
if
me.
you're into fitness,
Yeah.
Like my dad, he didn't see me during COVID, you know, all that shit. So he sees me like 3 years later, and we're in the pool with the kiddos, and he's not a comic. He's dead serious. He just goes, I can see him look at me. He goes, "You still work out?"
Oh,
But dead serious. I went, "What? You still work out?" I'm like, every day. You know, it's like, fuck, dude.
it's the worst.
I went on a
You
diet.
had a little paunch.
I don't know what I was probably drinking at the
Even that,
Again, this is pre-pandemic. Sorry, this is pre-Ozempic too. So he's gonna credit all this as drinking, but this is all pre-pandemic. This is all pre-Ozempic. Something that always angers me, to be fair. Hopefully, I saw a post recently, somebody saying, or him posting on Instagram, that he wants questions now. So those Q&A questions that he's still on the Patreon are now going to be open to everybody on TFATK. But I'm hoping somebody asks him to just admit that he's on Ozempic, because he doesn't want to admit that. But clearly he took Ozempic that made him lose the initial weight. That also helped, I think, with staving off the alcohol addiction that he kind of developed in his mid-30s, which is kind of embarrassing. But all in all, most of this you would imagine was pre-Ozempic, which is why he found it hard to lose the weight. Because I don't doubt he was probably still working out and lifting weights and stuff. But if you don't get your diet in check, most of you guys know when it comes to losing weight, you're not going to lose weight anytime soon. I think what they say the weight comes off in the kitchen or something, right? I forgot the term. There's some sort of saying about your weight actually comes from the kitchen as opposed to the gym. But yeah, pretty crazy comment to say to your son. I'm not gonna lie, pretty crazy comment. But again, more proof that Brendan's op is dad. Really, Brendan's biggest op is not the TFATK Reddit. It's his fucking Nick doing Callen's job of sucking off Brendan without any prompting. This is disgusting. But again, goes to show that this Nick Simmons guy has got a long game in plan. He's got a long game in that he's, you know, that he's got going at the moment. He's definitely trying to angle for a Rogan invite. That's my belief. I'm sure that I'm not the only one that thinks this. And he's also doing this thing that Callen usually does, where he goes out of his way to sort of like jump on Brendan's dick and suck him off. Like usually it's when there's a moment where there's a story or they're talking about something where Brendan looks bad, right? Especially if it's a story that kind of doesn't paint Brendan in the best light. Brian always go out of his way to kind of jump in there and kind of be the human meat shield for Brendan and start talking about how amazing he is. Well, in this particular clip, Nick Simmons takes up that mantle.
People don't realize how big he is until you see him in real life. That's why.
And you know how mean comics were to me for years.
Oh my! None of them would say that to your
No.
face ever.
No.
I told you the story. Did I tell you the story? My ex, me and you had that little thing
No.
online, and then so basically, my ex was like, "Oh, he's just jealous."
Where I was talking about the
wrist wrap.
Yeah, being
and she's like, "Oh,
silly.
he's jealous because you're strong and you're funny and you could kick the shit out of him." And I went, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!"
Easy.
I love the support.
Reality.
Hey,
I
like
love
where your
that you
head's at.
believe in
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
But let's just cut it.
I'll be honest though, I didn't realize how strong you are. You're
Thank you.
strong.
I don't know. There's something very cocky. There's something very unmanly. There's something very pussified. There's something quite rightly so, you know, for lack of a better term, gay, about admitting to another man that they can beat you up. Even if the person's a fighter, you don't do that. You don't actually admit out loud, oh yeah, you could actually fuck me up. You know what I mean? Your girl's trying to gas you up and you're telling your girl behind closed doors that to chill out. That guy would fuck you up and then fuck your girl or something. Weird. Brendan not even admitting or not being honest enough to say, yeah, I was hating then, and trying to act like he was being silly. You weren't being silly. When the whole, you know, back and forth happened between him and Nick Simmons in the beginning, because people forget, their relationship didn't start on the bestest terms. It started off with Brendan hating Nick Simmons simply because he could lift heavier weights. Because he was able to do a dumbbell press, right? Seated dumbbell press with a pretty decent enough size of weights without wrist wraps. At first he did it with wrist wraps and Brendan was like, don't count. That's the whole don't count meme came from. And then the next episode, I guess Nick Simmons saw that, trolled Brendan a bit and did the same thing without the wrist wraps. For some reason, I don't know, I'm not sure what it is about. Maybe it's Brendan being jealous of Brian having a new sort of like muscular toy boy BFF or something. I don't know, but he did seem weirdly jealous of Nick Simmons when Brian Callen first showed him that clip of him lifting those weights. It's super odd. He came across very jealous, very insecure, and just started to, you know, kind of say some things that you'd make it look like he was, or make it seem or sound like he was very jealous and insecure. Instead of just owning up to the fact, he's just being silly. No, you weren't. Nick Simmons' girl at that time was very accurate with her description or analysis of what was going on. Brendan was definitely insecure and jealous about him, maybe being funnier, maybe lifting more weights, whatever. And, you know, this is where we're at. But in general, it doesn't matter because Nick Simmons now goes out of his way to suck off Brendan. He's actually a lot bigger with me in real life. I can't believe never said it. Like, this whole never say it to your face thing. Of course, no one would ever say anything rude to your face because most people are polite and decent human beings. I think it's far better that somebody says something nasty and snarky to you, and, you know, behind the keyboard, than in your face. Why would you want someone to confront you face to face and say something horrible? Why would you want that? It makes no sense. And then again, he's acting as if like what comedians were saying about him was really that. It wasn't really that bad, really. What was it that they were talking about? You not being funny. They were talking about they were talking about Brendan maybe not deserving opportunities that he got in stand-up. I don't think that's mean. I don't think, you know what I mean? Those are just their kind of opinions on stand-up at that time, their opinions on him at that time. I don't think there's anything wrong with those comedians saying those things at all, personally. I don't know, maybe I'm mistaken, but I don't think there's anything wrong at all. The comedian be like, hey, I don't think you're funny. I don't think you deserve your opportunities you're given. I think you're a fucking embarrassment to comment. Whatever their opinion was, I don't think that would warrant, you wouldn't say that to my face, I'm gonna fuck you up. If anything, that makes you look like the fucking psycho. Brendan lying again about his bench press record. Again, this kind of goes by what I said before. Brendan said his bench press record was like 40 something, higher than most NFL combine athletes. But we haven't really seen him do 225 unbroken for 40 sets. We haven't seen it. We've seen him do 40 sets in fucking sets, right? We've seen him do 40 reps in sets, split across 3 sets, sorry. But we've not seen him do the alleged 225 for more than 40 reps or for more than 30 reps unbroken. We haven't seen it so far. So that's why I think he's lying. Do I think he's still super strong because he can still do 225 for 18 and whatever? Yes. But he said specifically he can do 225 for 40 reps. I've not seen that so far.
It is weird. You are ridiculously strong.
What's the most you ever did 225? Because I don't know. I know like a good combine number is
30.
what, 30?
You did 30.
30 would be amazing. I did 38.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's insane, dude.
Like a month ago, I did 30.
trained for like 3 months to do 3 reps of 225.
Yeah, but if you don't do it, that's pretty good. I'll tell you, he's getting stronger as D'Elia.
Oh, dude, he's strong as shit.
Like yesterday on
Put up
goal,
225 on bench now.
dude,
He's
he
big,
did
dude.
2, I think 45. And so I was giving him some props because I posted that, and then someone was like, D'Elia, you're next, you know? And then I said, shit, D'Elia, because I always make fun of him for being weak because his ankles and legs. And I go, dude, I actually am pretty strong. And he was like, thought I was going to say something like, for you. But it is pretty good. He goes, dude, being over 40, being able to bench 225, I said, no, that's great.
I'm pretty sure I saw him squat 315 too.
Yeah, no.
And ass to grass.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Impressive, don't get me wrong. 225 for any reps is really impressive, but we still have not seen. I've still yet to see this mythical 30 plus reps unbroken. He said that he did 38 the other day. I've not seen it. It's interesting, isn't it? He's always able to post this. He's always able to post the 225 for 3 sets and different reps, but we've never seen him post whatever he says he can do, which is weird. Just record it in and shut everybody up. But hey, Callen B-Day song reminds me of when TFATK used to be Triumph. But yeah, this is actually pretty decent, to be fair. Let me play this. I'm not sure if you guys think this is funny.
Stupid.
By the way, big up everybody watching. If you're watching and hear the sound of my voice and you're still here, please make sure you like the stream, subscribe to the channel. That'd be greatly appreciated. As I mentioned previously, this show will not be behind a paywall. I've not been around for a while, so I'll leave it open for everybody to watch. But if you want to get a membership, please do, because the shows after this will be all behind a paywall. So if you want to watch this after the fact, it'll be behind a paywall. But for now, this will be free to air for everybody to tune in. But make sure you like, subscribe, get a membership, all that malarkey. Get involved in the stream chat. I appreciate everybody in the stream chat too. Big up Izanella, big up Jack Doherty Jr., big up Joe MIA, big up Perk Angle, I see you. Who else is in the stream chat? Let me just double check and shout you guys out. Big up My Nuts, I see you. Big up Josie, big up Steven Casaneda, big up WCK Gold, big up Johnny Sneed, big up Fish Called Wonder, big up Apex Putter, big up Black American, I see you, or Block American. Big up B Mullery. So many people in the stream chat. I appreciate every single one of you. Who else is here? Jordan Ray, I see you. Mr. Mace, I see you. Tinga Goo, I see you. Pat Guido 581, I see you. 5810. Young Felipe, I see you. Everybody in the stream chat, I see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Oh, big up Aiden Spiznak as well. Long time, brother. I hope you're well too.
Good talented.
Speaking of talented, didn't you find that recording artist, right?
Oh, this is cool. There's a like a singer songwriter in Austin who's like blowing up and references you in a song.
No.
What was the
Like,
guy's
he's
name
like-
again?
Guelms Delerno.
Oh, dude, Rogan. Didn't Rogan play it too on
I think he played it.
on the episode with Ben Stiller and Matt Damon? He was talking about this.
Ben Affleck.
That's right. What'd I say?
Yeah.
Ben Stiller.
Stiller.
So he, dude,
Yeah,
it's
fuck.
What's his name? What's he say?
the.
You want to
I think
just
you
hear
would
it?
play
I think he's
it
a fan
if
of
you
yours.
Find it. It's like he's like a singer song.
But he's like the
songwriter.
next big thing, right? In
He's like-
Austin?
yeah, this song, though. This
Like
I
the
think
next
this
Waylon
song
Jennings.
is at like
Like
25
crazy.
million or billion.
By the way, I don't think Brendan knows what they're talking about. He's not in the bit, but because Brendan's so dumb, he's making the bit better, you know? He's completely mistaken what's going on here. These two obviously are in on the joke. It's definitely a bit because it's a song that he wrote. But Brendan doesn't get it because he's stupid and he's trying to, you know, act like he knows what he's talking about. But he's actually making the bit better because he's, you know, I think he's mistaken this for another song. But let's play it anyway.
In Spotify
Huge on
stream.
Spotify.
You guys want to see me live?
Yeah, I heard about this guy too, so let's see.
He's like a comedy fan, so I guess he like went to Mothership and then probably saw like you and Ron White or whatever.
Oh yeah.
You've been Ron White. It's hilarious.
Now as I stand here at the funeral of Brian Callen, we rejoice.
Actually, I think they might cut something. Let me just play this from here. I think they might cut something from there. Let's play it. Let's play it for her.
Stupid talented.
Speaking of talented, didn't you find that recording artist, right?
Oh, this is cool. There's a like a singer songwriter in Austin who's like blowing up and references you in a song.
No.
What was the
Like,
guy's
he's
name
like-
again?
Guelms Delerno.
Oh, dude, Rogan. Didn't Rogan play it too on?
I think he played
Did
it.
he?
On the episode with Ben Stiller and Matt Damon, he was talking about this.
Ben Affleck.
That's right. What'd I say?
Yeah.
Ben Stiller.
So he, dude,
Yeah, fuck.
What's his name? What's he say?
You want to just hear it?
I think he's a fan of yours.
Find it. It's like he's like a singer song.
But he's like the next big thing, right? In Austin?
Yeah, this song, though. This
Like
I
the
think
next
this
Waylon
song
Jennings.
is at like
Like
25
crazy.
million or billion Spotify.
Huge on Spotify.
You guys want to see me live?
Yeah, I heard about this guy too, so let's see.
He's like a comedy fan, so I guess he like went to Mothership and then probably saw like you and Ron White or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Now as I stand here at the funeral of Brian Callen, we rejoice. Tears fill my eyes, but they're tears of joy, and children sing. With one less coward in the world, one pussy ass in the ground, kick dirt on his grave, and we go get ice cream to celebrate these flavors that I'm tasting. Boy, these flavors never tasted so good. So you look your head to the sky, you see the clouds have shifted and the sun shines down on us all, and you hop and you ride and your wife immediately starts raw, so wet, so good. Baby, what's changed? She says, Brian Callen's dead and I love you more than I ever have. You can fuck me in the ass now. In a way, you gotta be thankful to Brian.
It's good.
But then you remember the days when he would get off the stage and immediately start to cry. No one's ever bombed so hard, not Hamas, not the Jihad, not the Jews in Palestine. And the president decides that this will be a national holiday and all the world agrees. Pangea reverses itself and now it's one continent of happy people, and then cancer is cured. It's cured.
That's good.
But
Very good,
left
very good song.
behind a beautiful family, a wife and 4 kids who take their time to grieve. 2 days later, his ex-wife, she finds herself inspired to get out and start dating again. Immediately she starts seeing a 6'8" fucking black linebacker for the New York Jets, and they fall in love. And even Brian knows from the heavens above he cares way better for her than he ever could. He puts his kids through school, Brian's dad calls him son, and he starts doing stand-up and he's actually good. And he goes on Rogan and they talk about wolves, and Rogan says, you're my new best friend.
This is genius.
And he forgets Brian Callen ever lived.
I mean, Brian was cool and all, but honestly, I only started seeing him because I thought that it would help me get closer to Frank Caliendo. You know, the impressions guy? He's so good. Anyway, 5 out of 10 dad, 5 out of 10 husband.
Brian Callen. Man, it was so cool knowing that dude. In the beginning, it was cute. He used to ask me tips about fashion, like what to wear. And he tried so hard for like a year or 2 after that. And then it just didn't take. I don't know. Honestly, his fashion even got worse than when I met him after that. It just was downhill from there.
You know, not a lot of people know this, but my uncle would shit himself a lot. And he didn't want people knowing.
You're such a
You know,
piece
he didn't
of
want
shit.
people knowing about the helicopter pilot he blew over the Hudson, or the zookeeper incident, you know, with the anteater's snout being used as it doesn't matter. But he didn't want people knowing. And I respect that.
I'm so sad. I'll never get to work for someone who is just constantly late and just not reliable at all, and just a terrible communicator. It's really a shame because
This is all part of the song.
that's all he was good.
Yeah, you get a gist. So again, reminds me of the, of maybe the brief period in the beginning when TFATK started, when it was somewhat decent, when they would try and be funny and make their little songs, you know, Big Dick Bandit being a good example of it, little jingles, little songs, little fucking parody songs, whatever. But we're just trying to be funny, trying to make their viewers laugh, have a good time, not be so serious, not always talking about politics and counter culture and fucking culture war nonsense. So you know, interesting to see that coming from these two comedians who are kind of new, fresh, and have a lot more energy, aren't as old, aren't as withered, haven't been through as many scandals as these guys have been through. Brian thinks he could beat up Adam 22 and Jason Love, or I said Love there, but you should say Jason Love in a boxing fight. I thought this was funny. I thought this was funny and humorous. Again, I don't know. I think if I was Brian, I'd hope if I'm Brian and I'm 60 years old, I'm not thinking about the people I can beat up or not. I'm not gonna lie. I would hope when I'm 60, my need to fuck like young things will definitely decrease. I'm hoping when I'm 60 years old, my need to fuck around and smash whatever moves would decrease. And I'd also hope when I'm 60, my constant desire to prove how masculine I was, how strong I was, how big of a good a fighter I was would also decrease, you know? I wouldn't have these hypotheticals, I wouldn't have these fantasies about fighting people. I'd hope so, not at 60, but anyway, let's hear Brian Callen talking about how he'd fuck up Adam 22.
I think you and
called knock his chin into
What are you
fucking
saying,
orbit. No, what about Adam 22?
I was gonna say Adam 22 would be a good fight for Brian.
You saw his fight.
Winner gets the other guy's wife.
I like Adam a lot. He doesn't know how to box.
Brian would beat up Adam 22.
Yeah.
You think so?
Brian would kick the shit out of him.
Do you think Jason Love you could beat?
I do.
Yeah. Let's not get crazy.
Just relax.
I do. I think he doesn't know how to box.
But he hits so hard, I think he would just walk through. It'd be like Patty Justin Gaethje. He would just walk through your punches.
That's not true. That's just not true.
Oh,
and then if he
you think you have knockout power? In what case?
I think I can hit him. I think if I hit him in the face with a right and a hook, I think he's going to go, oh no. I've done it with guys that big and that young.
Okay.
Now it's been a while since I've been really sparring, but
Been
when I
a
was sparring
hot
a lot,
second, Bubba.
I was in there with some guys who they weren't boxers, but they were big and strong, but they suck. You know how that is.
I do know how it
you
is.
can be really,
I know exactly
you can be
how
really
it is.
athletic and strong. If you don't know how to throw your punches, I'm going to punch you in the face.
So if Misfit Boxing was willing to pay you a couple mil to fight Jason Love, you doing
yes,
it?
I would. Yes, I would.
Yeah?
Yeah. Couple mil.
Honestly, Jason Love, 100 times over.
I know Brian's more skilled, but I just don't know.
It makes a big
The
difference.
power would be a problem.
It makes a huge.
It makes a big difference.
Power would be a
Skill.
problem.
Because he's what, like 100 pounds heavier than you?
No, you fucking asshole. He's probably like 200 pounds. He's a big, strong guy, though.
He's heavier than 200.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
6'5"? He's not 6'5", is he?
He's huge.
6'5",
235.
That's a large man.
Okay, that's
a
huge
lot
then.
to
Oh
do.
no,
I was
keep
gonna-
talking that shit though.
Brian honestly saying with a straight face that he'd beat up fucking Jason Love in a boxing fight. It's hilarious. It's also funny that he thinks anyone would offer any money to see him fight. I don't know, bro. I think Brian Callen would be in for a very interesting reminder as to his level or lack thereof of like star power. You know, I don't think he'd get the offer that he thinks he would get. Honestly, I really don't think he'd get the offer that he thinks he would get when it comes to the fight with fucking Jason Love or Adam 22. I really don't think it'd work out. I really don't think it would work out. I've heard also, I'm not sure if this is true, but I think I saw a clip somewhere that said Adam 22 hasn't actually received that much money from the fight. I think he got like 50 grand or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe he didn't get paid in general. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was a clip from No Jumper. So Adam 22, I feel like, is way more relevant culturally, I think, nowadays than Brian Callen would be. He's still not super famous, and if he's getting only quote unquote 50 grand, Brian Callen would probably be lucky to get 10, you know? So the money wouldn't be worth that much. Putting your life on the line for what? He thinks he can beat up Jason Love.
Powerful bunch.
So yeah, look,
I believe I can beat up any black man even if they are 6'8" and jacked.
Exactly.
Brian Callen,
Exactly.
creator of the great Apple iPhone joke, accused rapist, friend of both Peter Thiel and Gavin Newsom.
Exactly. Just because he can box allegedly, any black man is fucking crazy. But yeah, Brian Callen needs to drink a glass of water and sit the fuck down. Papa and Rinks argue. Yeah, This is fucking hilarious. Classic Brennan and Brian, isn't it? Papa and Brian argue about the height of other men for 5 minutes. This is a pretty funny clip as well.
He's taller than that.
I don't think so.
He's a big boy. Bring up Adam next to Jason Love for a second.
How tall are you? 6'2"?
6'4".
6'4"?
He's not 6'2".
I think because you guys are smaller, you think everybody's huge. Like, I'm bigger than Adam. I would not label Adam a big guy.
I mean, so if Jason Love is 6'5", Adam is 6'4". Look at that. I don't understand. He's not six foot. He's a lot taller than that.
Yeah.
That's wrong. He's definitely like six. He's tall.
I give maybe 6'2",
The one thing I noticed about him is he was fucking tall.
Right here it shows more of a
Bubba, I
difference.
think he's
but-
taller than that. I really do. Here, bring up when Adam did our podcast. I mean, he's just as tall. He's very tall. If Jason Love is 6'5", which I don't think he is.
Well, you can't really tell.
I mean,
but he's taller than.
There you go, Bubba.
Wait, I'm thinking Brennan and Brian. Is that like?
That's a terrible angle.
Yeah.
But
that's not. Yeah, that's.
But that is
not
how tall he was.
I'm just seeing Brian and Brennan, and then I'll look at.
But
Yeah,
that's how
I guess
tall
that.
he
Yeah,
was.
so that means he's pretty tall.
He was as tall as you. I remember him being very tall.
Brendan, you're also leaning. You know, you're
So
tilted.
you're talking
I'm
about.
also up on the camera.
So Jason Love is 6'5". That's fucking nuts, man. That's a big fella.
I believe in you.
No, I don't believe in me in that. Too big.
Right there too.
Too big. Yeah, he's huge.
He looks about the same size.
Yeah, he's fucking your size, Bubba.
You also have a skewed thing because you're fucking giant.
That's what I'm saying. You guys are smaller, so I think, Brian thinks everybody's big.
Well, he is big. I'm not an idiot.
If you're over 6'2",
I have an eye that can measure size.
Yeah, but
he's like, oh, you don't know. I'm like, what? I was standing next to him, dude. He's 6'4".
but you think everyone's
He's like,
so
he's
big.
6 feet. I'm like, what? No, I was next to him, dude. And then I just proved it with a picture.
A picture. You're talking about the Photoshop
Yeah,
picture?
the guy's your height.
But 6'5" is.
The Photoshop
He's
picture
still
with
your
arm
height,
in front of
but
him?
he's your height.
No, that's Brian. We're not next to each other.
Bubba,
in that
I'm
picture.
telling you, I remember him being very tall.
We don't need to go off memory.
And now he's next.
6'5" is objectively big.
6'5" is big for sure. It's
huge.
He's not 6'5".
He's 6'4".
If you're 6'3", you're a big
What do you mean
guy.
maybe? Like, we just saw the pictures. He's right up there with Jason
6'3" is
Love.
a big dude.
6'3's.
Don't you do that.
Yeah, I mean,
don't you do
to
that.
you guys.
6'4".
Yeah.
We're not all Lenny from
But if I see a
You're
6, but
fucking
this
giant.
is the difference.
Here.
If I see a 6'3" guy, I'll go, oh my God, that guy's huge.
Do you know what percentage
The
of the
rest of the
population?
world goes,
Hold
that's
on,
a-
stop. Do you know what percentage of the population in America is 6'4"? What percentage do you think?
1%.
4%.
4%?
Yeah, and it always has been. You're an outlier. It's very rare.
But it's not that 6'5" is huge and then 6'3" is small. They're
No,
both
6'3's not
fucking
small.
huge.
But I wouldn't look at a
6'2",
guy
but I slouch.
who's 6'3" and go, that's a big boy.
You're
You
not
are
6'2".
skewed.
I'm pretty tall.
Like the average
You're
person
6 foot.
sees that and goes, that's
No,
a pretty
I'm
big
not.
fucking
Yeah.
guy.
In
true.
boots, I am.
Here he's 6'2"3/4".
Yeah, you're a 6'4" professional athlete. Of course you're not going to be like, oh, that monster. You
Yeah,
know?
no.
Well,
I would give him 6'2".
It's not like what you give.
Why are you dying on this hill, bro?
Like
Stop dying on a
I'd
hill.
give 6'2".
You got to die on this
I'd
hill.
give him 6'2".
This is Ryan on Helen Keller.
Yeah. Job's got to die on this hill. I'm like, hey.
He either is or
Either way, Jason Love a little too big, a little too much.
Yeah.
Again, like, does it really matter? Like,
I think, of course,
does like imagine arguing like this at this length about other men's heights and shit. Like, I don't know. This is sort of stuff, the sort of argument you would have when you were a child, when you were a teenager, when you were a young man. I just couldn't imagine getting into these type of bickering matches, in your 60s. Like, who gives a fuck who's taller, who isn't taller? How does that affect me? How does that impact my day to day? Like, who actually gives a fuck? It's such a weird fucking little argument debate thing to have in general. It's such a weird one to have, but hey, these guys are always gonna these guys are always gonna these guys. Baba will never let his kids fight in the UFC. Brennan will never let his kids fight in the UFC.
It might bite him in the ass because ultimately,
That's what I think.
like, my son's gifted athletically. I would never let him fight.
No, that's
Never.
what I'm saying.
Go play baseball.
You're going to
football.
have, that's what, I'll tell you what you're going to have. You're going to have, if you keep doing this, you'll have 0 Americans fighting, and you'll have all Russians and Eastern Europeans and people from those countries.
That's
that
already-
have to.
Brazil.
And if that's what you want, then I think
My son's gifted athletically. I don't really know what athleticism has to say when it comes to fighting in general. I think a good identifier of fighting is your ability to fight. I wouldn't say athleticism is that. Obviously, it plays a part. Don't get me wrong, but leading with my kid's really athletic, I wouldn't let him go in the UFC. Is weird. And yeah, whatever. It's just his point of view, I guess. He won't really have much of an option if his kid does decide to go into UFC later on in life. At the moment, he can kind of like steer his kid down the direction of doing baseball. But, he's been very heavy-handed with that stuff anyway. It's going to be a miracle if that kid remains as interested to play baseball as he is now. Based on what Brendan says about how his baseball practice goes, it'll be a miracle if he stays interested into it. But I guess he'll have no choice really if he decides to go into it later. But I get why he doesn't want his kid to do UFC now, considering the lack of money, what's the risks involved, blah blah. Papa didn't get it towards the end. This is another clip towards the end of the episode.
That guy sucks, dude.
I had to send this. Candace Owens said the dumbest thing on the internet yesterday.
Oh, really?
Read this, Brian.
She goes back online after internet blackout. I grew up in Connecticut and have
I love how they said read this, Brian, and then Brendan read it. Classic.
truly never seen an ice like this ever. The temperature is 30 degrees, but the ice on our treetops is not melting at all. Never seen anything like this. Anybody else? I will take a video.
You understand why that's fucking stupid, right? Look at the temperature, she said.
30 degrees.
What is the temperature of
Freezing.
freezing?
It's freezing. I know. Because 30 degrees is freezing.
Yeah. That's why
Brendan doesn't get it, by the way. Brendan has no idea what's going on. He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand what's going on. Look his face. He has no idea what's happening. No idea.
the ice is not melting.
Yeah. I know.
But the
And I'm sure she thinks it's someone with a small hat.
Yeah.
Oh, she thinks they're
She's
controlling.
blaming the Israel.
She thinks
She's
it's-
blaming Israel. It's
She
the
is.
Jews.
She literally is tweeting this as if like someone did the weather
I know.
at her.
Her and Tucker Carlson just have.
She goes, I will take a video to show you guys what I mean, but it's almost like a dry ice.
Yeah. Her and Tucker.
It's taking out an absurd amount of trees.
Yeah.
Again,
This is the
30
problem with
degrees
Her
and
Tucker
none of the ice
they
is
see
dripping.
conspiracy everywhere.
This is